Hello everyone, and welcome to Professional DevOps Learning Channel with DevOps Engineer Luis. In today's video, we're going to be learning all about Git commands. The first Git command we're going to learn about is git init. Git init is to initialize and create a local repository. Git status. Git status shows the status of files in each area. Red means modified, and green means complete. Git log. List all the commits. Git add dot or star or file name. It moves files from the working area to the staging area. Git reset moves files back to the working area. Git commit moves files from the staging area to the local repository. Git revert moves files back to the staging area. Git commit -m adds a message for tracking changes created by authors. Git push pushes files from the local repository to the remote repository. Git pull moves files back to the local repository from the remote repository. Git push alias name branch name is to push changes in a branch for example, is to push changes from the master branch or the main branch to the local branch to the from the local repository to the remote repository. Git config is to set up users' details specifying who committed what changes. Git config global username dot no git config global user dot name, and then you enter your name is to state your own name, and git config global user dot email, and then you click and then you write your email. Git log author, it checks all the logs from a specific author. For example, I have someone working my team and I want to check what has he been doing and how much work has he committed to. So I'll just do git log author. Git remote add git remote add alias name repository name dash URL. It's repository URL creates a new local repository. Git show commit ID shows what happened and changes in the commit. Git remote ve lists all the local repositories and modifies the alias name and modifies alias names. For example, if you wanna see all the available local repositories that you're able to use to push changes or pull changes, you can do git remote ve and ls git dash no ls dot git dash slash is to list inbound files in like and branches or configurations. And git merge bug fix is to fix a conflict. Okay guys, next is we have a project where we're gonna practice on mobile extern. A new Git project is Sony. So let's go ahead and practice on mobile extern. Now that we have mobile extern open, what we're first going to do is make our directory Sony. Now that we've made a directory Sony, let's cd inside Sony. Now that we cd, let's first do our first command git init. And it tells us that we're in our master branch and it has initialized an empty git repository. So let's do git status to check the status. And on branch master, no commits yet, nothing to commit. So let's add file. Let's touch Sony introduction .txt. Now let's cd vi into Sony introduction, vi Sony introduction.txt. Now inside Sony introduction, let's press I insert mode, and we'll paste this. Now let's escape Shift ZZ to save our work, and let's do git status. As we can see, our file that we made is in red, which means it's a modified file, which means, in other words, this file is untracked and it's in the working area. Let's make two files to show the difference between a modified file and one file that's in the staging area that's been completed. Let's touch Sony best sellers. Oh wait, touch Sony bestsellers.txt. Now let's vi into it. Sony bestsellers.txt. Now inside, let's enter insert mode. Paste this. No wait, we paste this. Paste it. We can see that PlayStation has more than 1,000. These are facts that we've copied from the internet. Now let's do Shift ZZ. PlayStation is Sony's current bestsellers. Now let's do git status. And what are we told? We have 4 files here. Sony bestsellers. These are the different files that we made. Because I created a file that did not really exist. So now let's add it to the staging area. Git add. Let's add Sony introduction txt. Paste. Sony introduction txt, and let's add another one. Sony bestsellers.txt. Paste. Now these two have added. Let's check the difference by doing git status. And we can see that 2 files are in green, which means they're in the staging area, and 2 files are in red, which means they are in the working area, which tells us that 2 files have been, they're still working, 2 files haven't been modified. Now let's say we have a file. Let's go back and see our next command. Our next command is git log, but in order to do git log, we need to do git commit-m. This git commit will not work without a message, so we need to do git commit-m. However, before we do that, let's first do git reset. Let's say we want to reset this back to this working area. We do git reset Sony bestsellers txt. Paste. And let's do git status to check if it worked or not. And we can see it's back in the working area. Now let's do git add it back. Let's add this one too. Paste and git status. What are we told? We have 1 file that is in the working area, 1 file 3 files that are in the staging area. Now let's git commit. Let's say I want to commit a specific file. I'll do git commit Sony introduction, the file name, paste it, and then -m for a message. What's the message? Sony introduction complete. complete. And there we go. We paste. Oh, I forgot to write Sony git commit. Now it's been committed. Let's do git log to check if it's really been committed. And you can see, yes, Sony intro complete. It's been committed, guys. So that's how you commit a message for a specific file. Now let's say you want to commit all of these files because this one's already committed, so it's no longer there in the staging area. It's now in the local repository. Let's say we want to commit these two at the same time. What we're going to do is do git commit, and then we just do -m for the message. We don't need to write the file names, we just do -m. This will automatically commit all the files that are in the staging area. We'll call them Sony best sellers. 2 files change, 4 insertions. See, we can see that it's created a Sony bestsellers and Sony bestsellers. These are the 2 files that were here in the staging area. Now what's our next command? Our next command was git revert. This git revert is useful for if you have different versions of a file. But because I don't have that much versions of my file, I cannot use it. So let's say I have the first version, which was empty. That's my first version. And my second version is when I added lines of code. And the third version was where I updated my lines of code. When I use git revert, it will revert it back to the second version, or the last version that it was before. This is useful for versioning and backups. However, because I don't have that much versions, it will revert it back to how it was before with nothing inside. Therefore, I cannot do that. So let's do git push. Git push. And wait, for git push, we need to have an alias. Git push alias name branch name. In order to see an alias, we need to do git remote -v. Git remote -v. This checks all the available aliases that we have, and since it's empty, since it didn't show us anything, it means we don't have any available alias. So let's do git push git remote add, then the alias name. Let's call it big boost. That's our alias name. Now, oh wait, we have to include the repository URL. Forgot that. Let's go out and let's open GitHub. Now we're inside GitHub. What we're going to do is we click view organization, go to our repositories, and let's create a new repository for Sony. Call it Sony. Then we call it the description is optional, make it public, and create repository. Now let's copy this, big boost, paste it, and we've added our own alias. In order to check this, we can do git remote -v, and we can see big boost is there, so we can push this. We can do git push alias name, which is big boost, and we need to put what branch we want to push. And because we're in the master branch, we'll do git push big boost master. Now, what's our username? Our username is DevOps to engineer. Yeah, DevOps to engineer. Now we press enter. What's our password? For this case, our password isn't really our password to GitHub, but rather our personal access token. For this, we need to create a new personal access token. We'll go here to settings. Scroll down. We see developer settings. Click on that. Click on personal access tokens. Click tokens classic. Click generate new token. Click generate new token classic. Enter our password. Then we're going to write a note. We call it big boost. Click repository. This will give full access, full controls to our repositories that we have. And scroll down all the way to the bottom and click generate token. Now our token is here. We just copy this and we paste it in here. Enter, and we've pushed everything that we had from our master branch to the remote repository, which is on GitHub. Now let's paste the repository, and we can see all our work that we had in our local repository is now here on the remote repository. Now let's do git pull, which is our next command. Git pull is for pulling work from the remote repository to the local repository. Let's do git pull and alias name big boost to what branch? Master. And we pulled it. We just do git pull big boost or the repository URL. Paste it. We're pulling from this repository to the master branch, and everything is already up to date. So we have to do git pull repository URL, not the alias name, and you name the branch master. Since it's already up to date and we don't have any new files in the remote repository, everything is already there. So next up was our next command, git config -- global username -name. Let's do that. Let's copy this command. This is for specifying who you are specifying who you are in the local repository. You write your name, DevOps Luis, and we can do git config username email. Let's write our email, paste it. What's our email? DevOps to engineer That's our email, right? Yeah, DevOps2engineer@gmail.com. Now we press enter and we have configured everything. In order to check this, what we can do is git commit. But for git commit, we need to add our file that we had in our working repository to the staging area. You do git add dot. You don't need to put the file name. You can do git add dot or git add star. Now that we've added it, what we're gonna do is git commit -m with the message. What's our message? Finished. Now it's been finished. Let's do git log And we can see that the author is DevOps Luis, like we've entered over here. Our email is here. So now that we've done that, let's do our next command, which is git log --author. Git log --author is useful for checking how many commits a specific author has done. Git log, git log, forgot to add log --author, and then write the author, DevOps Luis. Or the email, and then we paste it. Requires a value. Let's just write devs. And we can see that devs has contributed only to 2 commits. And if we want to see what's inside the specific 2 commits, we do git show commit ID. So git show. Now for the commit ID, we can either copy the first 7 or we can copy the whole thing. It doesn't matter, but you must have at least 7 characters. Git show and paste. Enter, and we can see that he has committed 2 files. Our first file is here, sellers and seller, and inside this file we have 4 lines of code, or 4 lines of content in it. So what else do we have? ls.git and we can see how many things we have in our git. This is useful for tracking specific files or finding files that we may have lost along the way. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. Congratulations on watching the full video. Remember, practice makes perfect. If you have any questions, please comment it down in the comment section down below. I'll see you in the next video as you continue your DevOps learning journey with DevOps Luis.